For recording.
Oh my God.
Week 17 NFL. We have two. Well, now you made me nervous, Dan, because you said we had more than 3 views last week. We have two
That's
picking
right, we're
teams.
hitting it big time after 10 years.
We have myself. All right, Dan, move a little bit more to your right. You're still under the placard. All right, that's good. We have myself, the producer, Ryan, the office. On one team, we have Danny D, the five head of knowledge, and the sports betting guru, Brian, who is not reliable. I think Rand Spears could vouch for that.
I called him today too. He picked up the phone and everything.
He's probably taking a nap.
Yeah, he's nappy poo. So the team of the five head of knowledge, Danny D, and the sports betting bureau are 2 picks ahead of myself and the office, and we have a chance to. We still have a chance to win, correct, Ryan?
Yeah, we do through the playoffs.
Yeah, we've got what?
Yeah, Tennessee blew up big time last week, so they sucked. That game pissed me off. I'm off the love train this week, so we're good.
That's probably why we're not picking them again this week.
Yeah, they can go to hell. Even though I think they're going to win, they can go to hell.
I bet on them as part of a parlay this week.
Yeah, well,
I don't give a damn.
I need to apologize to Clemson because I bet on them to win -7 yesterday, and they got crushed. And then I got screwed. I bet Bama -20. That last touchdown, that bullshit touchdown at the end was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, the Alabama coach blew the spread. That dumbass.
Yeah.
Because I was
Yeah.
betting the spread on that game.
Everybody was.
Yeah, that's what I bet. I thought that after Notre Dame getting shellacked by, was it Clemson like 2 weeks ago? That they just annihilated them. I thought there was no chance, and then the D. I mean, they played soft at the end and at the end there on that last drive. So that I don't think wasn't there a penalty or something like that too that put them in good field position.
No,
too,
it
I
was
think. Wasn't there something?
the referee called pass interference, I think it was.
Oh no, he didn't. And then Saban got called for.
He got called for
unsportsmanlike
unsportsmanlike
conduct on the head coach.
and then it
Yeah, he
gave
got
him
15
15
yards for
yards.
that.
And if he
Yeah,
hadn't have done
yeah.
that, they would have covered the spread.
Yeah, I wonder how
Freaking
many
asshole.
bettors
I
were
was
pissed about
every
that.
time I
Yeah.
saw him on the
Everybody
TV the rest of the night, I was just giving the middle finger. I was like, "F you."
Hey, that's my favorite finger. Let me tell you.
That's right.
Yeah, he screwed the spread because they were covering the 19.5 at that point.
Yeah. Everyone bet on that. ESPN had an article about it, how everyone was betting on Bama on that based on the spread, and they blew it.
And
Yeah.
they didn't blow it. If Nick Saban hadn't run on the field and got
Right.
flagged, they would have covered the spread.
And also, they broke a streak of what
Maybe
is it,
somebody
30?
should check his bank account.
Then they break.
He makes so much money anyway.
35. Didn't they score? I think they scored 34 points at least in like 35 straight games.
It was 35 or more, and they didn't beat it. They had 31 years. Was it
31.
points?
The first time in
So,
like 3 years.
I forget how many games in a row. They showed the stat towards the end. 35 points or more over like the last 3 or 4 seasons, and they didn't cover it. Yes, they didn't do it yesterday. So they can go. They're on the Jerry bus to hell right now. I still bet I'm going to win the national championship.
And I got the impression that Trevor Lawrence was kind of, now I have to save myself for the NFL. He was kind of powder puffing the whole game. I didn't see any real grit out of him.
I didn't watch the Clemson game because I watched a couple of 1980s movies. But he still threw for 400 yards. He had 400 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, an interception. He had -8 yards rushing on 10 attempts for a touchdown. So, I mean, he still put up pretty good numbers, but not not what I would have expected. And I mean, I blame that partially on the head coach for calling out Ohio State, saying they didn't deserve to be there because they only played 6 games all season. The Big Ten wasn't going to. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. Big Ten originally was not going to play this fall. They were thinking about playing in the spring, but they weren't going to play in the fall. And then they changed course when the numbers started getting better. And then, oh, look at that! There's the Buru.
Oh, the Buru joined us after partying with Jim Schwartz.
Monsieur douchebag.
Monsieur douchebag.
Welcome. His
Bienvenue,
Majesty.
Monsieur douchebag.
Brian, did you watch the show 150 times last week?
No, I did not.
Who's the guilty party?
Yeah, I didn't. I never watch it, so I don't like to give us fake. We're there live. I don't like to give us fake views. So
I couldn't watch the show when I was drunk. When I was super drunk, that show, I was like, I cannot watch that thing. That's gonna be a disaster.
That one I was gonna watch, but I didn't.
So we have the losing team 2 games back on your left of the screen, and the winning team 2 games ahead on the right. So we will pick first going into week 17, and let's have some analysis from the office.
So we're going with the New Orleans Saints -5.5. I believe they're at Carolina.
Correct.
I texted Scott just because after we made the pick, the news came out that every freaking running back on the New Orleans Saints is going to be out tomorrow due to contact tracing with Alvin Kamara, who tested positive for COVID. So Latavius Murray, who I have in fantasy in my championship game tomorrow, is out. I thought he was going to have a big game with Kamara being out, but they'll mix in Ty Montgomery and probably Taysom Hill. We'll see a lot of spots back there. The Saints offense, I mean, I don't remember how many games Drew Brees missed, but the Saints offense was still rated, I think, number 9, 20th in passing, but was it either 7 or 3 in rushing? But if Drew Brees was healthy all season, they would have been up higher in the passing. Their defense is ranked 9 in the NFL. Carolina is 18 on defense and 20 on offense. McCaffrey is not going to play tomorrow, from what I've read. It's highly doubtful. And there's no reason to really play him. They're not playing for anything. New Orleans is a better team than Carolina. I didn't look at the weather. I apologize for that. But it should be fine. It's North Carolina. Unless there's rain, it'll be fine. And it's only 5.5, so it's a touchdown. I expect New Orleans to win by more than a touchdown, say at least 10 points. So bet the savings.
And we're at like a 5.5 last time I checked.
It's supposed to be a beautiful day there tomorrow.
Yeah, it was 5.5 when I checked it. I didn't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't bet it yet. I didn't have a chance yet because where I'm at right now. So I just didn't. I was watching basketball, so college basketball. So, but yeah, that's my complete analysis. I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, the big thing is they're going to play the game even with because they're not going to give special treatment to the Saints when they didn't give special treatment to the Browns last week when the Browns are missing all those receivers. So it's going forward.
Well, especially because it's week 17.
Right. Well, there's still a chance at Cleveland. If Cleveland gets canceled because they're having COVID issues again, they just closed their practice facility for the second time this week. I think today. If that happens and the game has to be canceled due to too many people getting out, then the chaos playoff schedule goes into place, and they expand the playoffs to 8 teams. So there's still some jockeying left for positionings, I believe, in both conferences proceeding. So if they go to 8 teams, the 1 seeds don't get a bye. So we'll see what happens.
I think they would play that game like on Monday or Tuesday if they had to. instead of doing
Well,
that.
we'll see. I don't know. I mean, the big thing is some of these COVID cases will have an impact on the playoffs. The schedulers are going to have to either be nice or they're just going to say, "Yep, screw it," because I think they're required to be out for 10 days. I thought is what I read, but I could be wrong about that.
I think you're right.
Well, speaking of college, I didn't realize Indiana in the bowl game today when they score, they sit on the sidelines and hold up folding chairs above their head, and that's how they celebrate. Did you realize that? This is the football team. This isn't even the basketball team.
I was going to say that. Did they really do that?
Yeah, and there's players.
Homage to Bobby Knight?
They're all holding up folding chairs above their head and jumping up and down. It's a tradition now.
That's weird.
So the Saints have already clinched, but they will be giving it their best shot because they'll look playoff seeding purposes. Obviously, this is from my notes, and they still have a chance for the number 1 seed and the first round bye, with a little help from some others. But whatever the case, they have a lot to play for. And then you fast forward to the Panthers, who have long since been eliminated from postseason and can only serve themselves well by improving their draft position. There's no reason why the Panthers would bring back McCaffrey for the final, and they're not. Mac Davis, ankle injury, wide receiver Anderson groin, also not in practice. So, they're horrendous at 2-8. So Drew Brees has 2 games under his belt upon his return from injury, and he looked much sharper in Week 16 than he did the previous week. So looking for a good effort from hang on. What's his name again? I forget.
Who that? Drew Brees!
Oh, yeah. That's my analysis.
That was from 2010, man. That was you brought that way back. The archives, baby.
Well, that's because I haven't updated my soundboard.
That was a classic.
So was that.
So what was the what happened to the Mike Singletary one where he pulls down his pants? That was a good one.
What did he say? What was the quote? I have to know what the quote
Yeah, we
was.
used to have that one. I forgot. It was something like, you played like my ass or something. You
Did
played
you
like...
say I want winners?
No, didn't he like pull down his pants or something and say they played like my ass or something?
Maybe when you went to his football camp.
I was going to say, I think you're pulling that out of your ass, but I don't know.
All right.
Yeah. He said,
Cannot play with him.
I remember
Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it. I want winners.
Yeah. I don't think he pulled his pants down in front of the media and they gave that speech.
No, it's one of the reasons he didn't pull his pants down, but he turned around and he pointed to his ass in the locker room to all his players. You can look that up. He did do that.
I'm not going to be the Alabama coach.
He's right.
You can look that up. He pointed to his ass.
I recall
and
something
guys
to that.
played.
Well, I'm sure you have a picture of it on your wall.
Yeah,
just like you. Yeah, just like Charles. You have Charles Bronson naked in your room.
Now that's right next to Vin Diesel.
Charles Bronson. Dan has a naked picture of Charles Bronson in his.
Just because that joke is used against you all the time doesn't mean you can use it against anybody else.
That joke can be used against anybody. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, because you really do have posters on your wall of Al Bundy and other naked men.
Right.
Remember, we moved you in, so we know.
Without a shirt on.
So as you were saying, what's your pick?
What?
What's your pick?
What's your pick? What are you picking this week?
We're going against the grain.
I don't give a damn.
But we are picking the football team against the Eagles tomorrow. I think they're favored by 3.5. I've seen 3.5, 4, depending where you look. The Eagles everybody's out for the Eagles tomorrow. They have at least 10 guys are listed as out for tomorrow. They're trying to lose this game as best as they can. They don't know the
Talk to the trainer. Next.
Mike, why are you in such a bad mood?
What do you care?
So anyway, if somehow the Texans win and Cincinnati wins, the Eagles could get up to the number 3 pick, but that's probably not going to happen. If they were to win, they could pick as low as 10. So they're trying to stay in the 5-6 range if they can. So they're playing like their 10th and 11th tackles tomorrow. Everyone else on half their defense is going to be out. Half their offense is going to be out. Miles Sanders is out. Dallas Goedert is going to be out. Jackson's going to be out. I doubt Alshon Jeffrey's going to play. Trying to think of Fletcher Cox is going to be out. A couple of linebackers are out. And Washington is pretty healthy. Alex Smith is going to play tomorrow. They're not going to have Dwayne Strip Club Haskins there, who is awful. Or that other Tyler, whatever that Henke guy. He's not going to play. But Smith is actually a serviceable a real NFL quarterback. And so I expect them to win and win easily. The Eagles are mailing it in. They don't want to win. They're sort of fired the defensive coordinator today, even though they framed it some other way to make him look better, as I think Brian pointed out on the phone call today. So they're done. So that's why we picked against the Eagles for the first time, I think, in the history of the show. I don't care about the other whatever numbers exist about whatever last time Washington won Philly or whatever. You can throw all the numbers out the door when you're playing. But this is like a preseason game with the roster. The Eagles are going to be throwing that there tomorrow. Quite frankly, if I were the Cowboys and the Giants, I wouldn't be very happy right now. But that's just the way it goes. The Giants should have beaten the Eagles whatever week that was, week 8, when Evan Ingram dropped that pass in the fourth quarter. That was their shot. So they can't complain. And the Cowboys should have beaten the Eagles when they played here, but they had to start the great Ben DiNucci, who I'm sure Howie Roseman is already on the phone trying to trade for. But so we're going to go with the Washington football team this week. And I'm sure Brian has plenty to say about his friend Jim Schwartz and a tearful goodbye.
Yes.
So if you got the crosshairs, you got the laser, you put it right on my chest, I'll take full responsibility.
Yeah, I don't like to use the redheaded werewolf's words because it's a jinx. But I think one you can use it one time the whole year. I think you're allowed to use it. Stone Cold Mortal Lock. All right. Bet all your savings. Bet everything you have on the football team. The Eagles don't have. They're playing like Dan said. They're not playing anybody. Alex Smith's gonna be back. Their front four. I think the Redskins' front four might be the best in the league right now. I mean, the 49ers used to be, but 2 of their guys are out for the whole season. So right now, I think the football team's front four is the best in the league, and they're going to put pressure on, especially with a bad O-line. They're going to put pressure on Hurts. Hurts is it's only his 4th game. So I think there could be 2 or 3 turnovers for the football team. And their offense isn't explosive, but they have a good defense. So it could be a low-scoring game. Like if you're betting on the under, I don't know what the under is. It's probably like 40 or something, 41. I would even go, if you want to parlay it, I would go football team, and then I would go under. I would do the under, get a parlay. But I think once a year you can use Stone Cold Mortal Lock. It's allowed. And I'm using it now. And also, shout out to Steve Hinkle, who used to work at Rand Spear, who said that if you're an Eagles fan and you ever bet against them, you should be shot and killed. So shout out to Steve Hinkle. Fuck you.
That's not his last name anymore.
Yeah, it's Steve Kelly now.
The person formerly known as Steve Hinkle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
his name.
Sometimes you got to bet with your head, not your heart. That's what I say. You got to bet with your head.
Yeah, I agree on this one. The Eagles are trying to lose this game. They want to lose. They want no part of winning that football game tomorrow. I mean, Al Michaels is going to want to jump out of the booth by the second half. It's been such an awful game.
Oh, is that the 8:00 game?
Yes, it's one of Brian's favorite writers, who he called Jolowitz. Paul Domowitch tweeted out that this game should be played at 9:00 in the morning. That's how terrible this game is going to be.
Is it here?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the rain should be over. I think the rain should be over by the time the game
Oh,
starts.
okay.
So it should be
curious about
decent
that.
weather. But it's just it doesn't matter. Washington's just whatever, run the ball and whatever. It doesn't, the Eagles secondary is going to be like me and Brian tomorrow. That's who's going to be playing. At least 3 of their starters are going to be out. McLeod is out. Mills is out, and whoever Avante Maddox in the corner's out. And I don't know why Slay would play tomorrow. I would bench him too. I mean, it's going to be awful, and it should be awful because the Eagles need a top 5 pick, and they're top 6. They'll get it and move on. I'm sure Brian's upset that Doug Peterson won't be fired, but I get it. Usually the coordinators go first, and then if it doesn't work, then the coach goes. But we'll see. But they're trying to mail it in. They're just trying their damnedest to mail that game in tomorrow.
So as my brother used to, he used to always end the show with something about going to the 7-Eleven and stealing a bunch of money from the convenience store, holding up the convenience store, getting all the money, and then putting all your money on the football team.
Well, kids, your parents, whatever coat they hung up when they came back from the New Year's Eve celebration, just dig into those pockets. There's probably some bills and some loose change in there. And then go down to your corner bookie. And you're betting on the Saints and the Washington scrimmage squad. So I just want to wish everybody a happy New Year and everything.
Yep, happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody.
But I had a gimmick for the end of the New Year. Hang on.
Oh no, it's the mouthpiece. It's the mouthpiece.
Happy New Year, everybody.
That's an awesome job, man.
All right, good luck, fellas. I'll see you next week.
All
right, see you next week.
All right, take care.
All right.